Thursday, from Ford Field in Detroit, it's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports. The Detroit Lions taking on the Chicago Bears.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. And this carries into the end zone. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Detroit gearing up for their opening drive here, led by Matthew Stafford, the veteran former #1 pick back in 2009.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
So just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get him the football in the passing game. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here, too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the red zone now, Stafford. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. For Golladay, you take a look at the numbers from last week. 5 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Derek Brown, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Looking for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
They'll take over at 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
So here are the Bears banked up to start their initial drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, standing 6'1" from Utah. It's Tyler Huntley.
Not sure what you thought, but I thought it was appropriate when he walked into our meeting with his arm totally encased in ice, because he threw 5 touchdown passes last week and won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award.
Yeah, but reading the paper this morning, and he said, gosh, I actually thought I should have got 6 or 7. But still, it was an amazing performance a week ago.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if he thought he should have had 6 or 7, that's a guy's an absolute perfectionist, not just greedy.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he'll be taken down at the 18. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
A gain of 16.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Throwing on 1st down. Huntley. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Throwing again. Huntley. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw on 3rd down. Huntley. Oh, he almost picked him. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts.
Oh, deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And this is picked up by the Bears.
Recovered by the kicking team.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game, because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
And the Bears are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. As a nice run there gets them down to the 6-yard line. It's a good gain of 11. Sets them up 1st and goal. First and goal, Melvin Gordon. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. The gun running with Cohen.
And the Bears are going to have what looks to be a 1st and goal as he'll take this down to the 10-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 10-yard line, here's 2nd and goal. Now with shotgun handoff to Cohen. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Riley Ridley, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This will make it into the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Big Derek Brown making the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30.
A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Score Bears 7, Lions nothing.
Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC.
And as we take a look at the playoff picture, certainly still a lot of jostling to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
So much to play for, and remember, 7 teams in each conference go to the playoffs instead of 6. And not to mention, remember when the league made that move a few seasons ago to put divisional games at the end of the year? So you get to week 16 and 17, you're playing for playoff spots, and you're playing divisional games. Couldn't be more exciting than that. Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Huntley. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On first down, Huntley. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. To throw again, Huntley. And he comes back with one complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 18. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Now Gordon on first down. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught. Oh, one-handed grab there. He's got it for the touchdown.
Touchdown.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, Just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Oh, man, it's complete. Williams. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, Stafford here. Man open left side, it's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he's got this down to the 35. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Throwing again is Stafford. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. That kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. Orcana's got it complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find a soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
A 32-yard attempt.
The kick by Sanders is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That's about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
20-yard line.
The Chicago offense set to get started. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And he takes it all the way down to the 32.
Gain of 48 yards. And the Bears first down.
Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they'd take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
On 1st and 10, Huntley. That's going to be caught. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Allen Robinson with touchdown number 7 on the year as the Bears push further out in front.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And it's 21-3. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score 3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Here's Mike Williams now as his guys head back out to go on offense. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Stafford now to throw.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford gets it quickly to Galladay. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll kick things off down in the Bayou. An NFC South matchup between Atlanta and New Orleans. And that one finds the Falcons out in front. Todd Gurley, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. From there, let's get to Philadelphia as we check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. DJ Chark, a touchdown reception. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
On the return, the Bears take over first.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And it's been a good game for him to this point, Charles. They're winning on the scoreboard. They got to be feeling pretty good.
And it's always fun for them when they're not just winning on the scoreboard, but they're contributing in a big way. You see him throwing touchdown passes, watching this video here. It's got to be a fun time for him and a relaxed time because nothing is pressing.
Relaxed, cool, calm, collective, all those things describing him right now. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
To throw on second down. Huntley firing quickly here, and that's complete. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
Chicago.
From the gun, Huntley. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Vince Beagle in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Operating from the gun, Huntley. And incomplete on the deep ball. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Huntley. From the right side here, complete. of the season. And the Bears will extend their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Now this will make it into the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, Stafford.
He's going to get that to Swift underneath.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. An injury timeout here as I believe, yeah, that's DeAndre Swift. Swift is still down. We'll check on his status when we get back. The first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast.
And under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Derek Brown, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Gonna give this time to the tailback. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. In a heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on a quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Huntley. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down. Huntley. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Off the play fake. Huntley. And he rifles one incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
To throw again. Huntley will get that complete to his tight end Kmet. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards, the final tally. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in his performance.
It's incomplete. Deron Harmon right there on the coverage.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Second down. It's Cohen. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
From the gun on third down. Huntley. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Melvin Gordon, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears add on. So they went for it from the 1 on 4th and goal, and they got it done.
Is this the new NFL?
This is the new NFL.
This is the updated NFL, and I like it. I know that quarterbacks across the league have spent the entire offseason and even during the season lobbying their coaches to go for it more on 4th down. Let's go get it. Because nowadays, you've got to score points to win games in the NFL. You can't just rely on your defense to hold them.
I think the quarterbacks want to eliminate field goals inside of 30 yards, probably.
Well, listen, they have enough confidence in themselves that they can call plays and make plays that they won't need those field goals inside the 30.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
On second down now, it's Reese. 7 yards there and a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Right back to him on first down. And he loses the football a second time. I think the Bears have recovered. They have. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. This is Gordon. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Number 29, Tariq.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On 3rd and 2, Huntley. And Robinson with a big catch. And he will have the Bears first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down. Off play action. Huntley. Buying time to his left. He'll run it. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
2nd down at 7. Operating from the gun. Huntley eluding the pressure right. Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 12-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's Huntley. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Cole Kmet, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On 3rd down, Huntley. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game, and privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching, and he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
taken at about the 1. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
And here now the offense heading back out there.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Screen play, Johnson. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, this game was certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Eddie Goldman with a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Another try after the first down sack. Stafford. And he's going to go down again. Eddie Goldman able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory.
The Bears offense ready to get going again. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. That game's gone final now in Philly, and it was the Jaguars who were able to come away with a victory there. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He gets it left side to Johnson. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Give him 14 on the play. And it's going to yield a new set of downs.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
One last throw here for Stanford. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Chicago, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year.
And they will head home for next week's contest. That is against Washington.
Meanwhile, for the Lions, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.